Got it.
Would it?
Done. Alrighty, y'all. Peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco with Northwestern Maxim. How are you? Guys, welcome to our AstroCivics Sunday number 54 for the Holy Koran Devotional. Alrighty, countdown. Chapter 20 is where we are, guys. We went from 48. Oh, wait, now we're finally at 20. And then you guys know after that, we go from 19 to 2, which are those 18 books that are missing from the Helios Bibliothèque or Biblios Heliothèque, right? Depending on the scholar's mindset. But what the people that do not have the initiated degrees, they would just simply call it the Holy Bible. So the 18 years of the I am identity, but the people that don't have this knowledge, they'll just say Jesus. 18 years of Jesus' life that's missing out of the Bible is chapters 2 through 19, which you guys know. We're doing a countdown from chapter 48 in the Quran on to the first chapter. So today we're at chapter 20, and we're going to knock this out. It's only 10 minutes in degree 20 or 10 verses in chapter 20. And I am here with our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, and he is
Islam, peace and love to all my people. Peace and love. Or my bad, Pazzy and Moor. Right? Y'all
It
might
sounded
know.
like you said pizza love. I was like, pizza
Peace.
love. Like, what?
All right, yeah.
Like,
Make sure you send all the peace of love to
somebody's
Mick
got food
Real.
on the mind. Wow.
Send them
That's
large
so funny,
pieces, but
yo. Go ahead, bro. Yeah. Uh-huh.
y'all might commonly know me as GBIC Shine, but the bros they also was calling. What was that other appellation, bro? What was that joint?
Braveheart.
Braveheart. What?
Braveheart. That's always fun, man. So, man, let's just jump right into this. Brother Sean's going to do the invocation in terms of Moorish American prayer. So we're just going to jump right into this, guys. And I'm going to share the screen to do so. And you guys can extend all 5 appendages on your left hand, just the index and the middle on the right. I want to stand on a 45 degree, just like Prophet Noble Ali here, who is standing handsomely due guard in his more shirty fez and a bob, but feet going to be on the 45, just like his. All righty. And we can repeat either aloud or in our hearts after Brother Sean Aline L. Islam.
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 Allah, the Father of the universe,
Allah, the Father of the universe,
the Father of love,
Father of love,
truth,
truth,
peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night
By night
and by day.
and by day.
Through his holy prophet,
His holy prophet,
noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amin Ra.
Amen. Indeed, indeed. Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to go to the first letter to be read in every meeting. Still in the same book, Moor Temple of Science, Administrative Functions. However, we're going to go to pages 84 and 85. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative Functions, Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same side of the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. the ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement, will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause, Noble Drew Ali. And now we're here at the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. See there, handsomely standing due guard in his Moorish Sharif's fez and abba as Prophet Noble Drew Ali on page 12. On page 13, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom we're well pleased, Brother Hasan Ghaziel, Islam.
Divine warning by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim. Governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet in the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways, by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. So, as promised, we're here, chapter 20, right after the epilogue for chapters 2 through 19, which we'll go in on what I have highlighted there next Sunday. All right. So we're here at chapter 20, and in normal fashion, Brother Sean will read the minutes for degree 20. But for those that, don't have those scholarly degrees yet, you may call it chapter 20 and you may call it verses. All right. However, with that being said, Brother Sean's going to do that reading. I'm going to do the normal,
yeah,
serious member type of ad-libbing. Doing that type of ad-libbing there. So let's all enjoy chapter 20. I yield the floor, bro. Islam.
It's fine. Here we go. Chapter 20. Holy instruction and warnings for all young men. 1. Beware, young man. Beware of all the allurements of wantonness, and let not the harlot tempt thee to excess in her delights.
Yeah, man. And you just don't want the wrong woman just because she looks good or may seem like it's advantageous. You don't want the stress in your life. you don't really want the stress in your life. All right. So just because it looked good or whatever, just you don't have time for harlots. All right, yeah, bro. It's fine.
What was that one chapter where it's like it's like an apple to the eye, but when you bite it, it's like a rotten core?
Ah, yes. Which chapter is that? That's interesting.
Ooh, could you hit Control F? Get that search. Yeah.
Let's see.
Bam.
Yep. That's minute 13 of obviously chapter 3. Yeah. Or degree 3, Elihu's lessons, the unity pertaining to life. Boom. what you're talking about right there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and
Yep.
that's part of the lower self too. Whoo, what?
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that, especially in terms of a woman. Really don't at all. You know, and I trust when when an honorable mother hears these things, she's not offended. It's only the harlots that are the thotties. They're the ones that's usually offended, bro. Right? Are we good here?
Indeed, yeah.
I'm zooming and I'm doing my thing. I was just trying to take the okay. I think we're good. Let's see. Okay, we're all the way good. All righty. I yield, bro. Islam.
All right, 2. The madness of desire shall defeat its own pursuits. From the blindness of its rage, thou shalt rush upon destruction.
You think it's going to be beautiful and great, and then you move forward and rush, and then not seeing certain things like the red flags, and then you feel that your life is destroyed. I yield.
Therefore, give not up thy heart to her sweet enticements, neither suffer thy soul to be enslaved by her enchanting delusions.
Indeed. I don't even think that needs an ad lib, except indeed. Right? I yield.
The fountain of health, which must supply the stream of pleasure, shall quickly be dried up, and every spring of joy shall be exhausted.
Correct, because you're going to be miserable. This just is no other way to say that, just because you're going to be miserable. I mean, all right, bro. So I yield.
In the prime of thy life, old age shall overtake thee. The sun shall decline in the morning of thy days.
Yeah, so it's going to seem like you're young, but you're getting old because your youth has been taken. It has been vampirically absorbed by someone that you shouldn't have actually set your eyes or heart to at all. Eyes, mind, or heart to at all. So, man eater. Whoa, here she comes. Watch out for she'll chew you up. Whoa, here she comes. Here she comes. She's a man eater. I'm just saying, that's how it usually is. And then you're dealing with so many crazy things. So many. All right, I yield, bro.
But when virtue and modesty enlighten her charms, the luster of a beautiful woman is brighter than the stars of heaven, and the influence of her power it is in vain to resist.
Indeed. I mean, and see, the first 5 minutes are like, you don't want this in your life. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are like, this is what you do want. Right? So yeah, you want to be able to be with someone who, it'll be vain to resist when, you're coming across a virtuous and modest woman, right? Well, virtue and modesty enlightens her charms, right? Doesn't have to be tons of makeup and all this other stuff that enlightens her charm. Had to be all these delusions and deceptions, right? I yield.
Right. It's like it's like that energy that you just can't describe. It's like, yeah, she looked good, but it's like, is there energy that just can't be described about her that's beautiful? Right. Let's see, 7. The whiteness of her bosom transcendeth the lily. Her smile is more delicious than that garden of roses.
Yeah, so the purity, that's what whiteness is, whiteness of her bosom, right? So the purity of her bosom transcends the lily, and lilies are quote unquote super white, right? her smile. And that's interesting because it's saying more delicious than a garden of roses. And a garden of roses would give you a smell that would pertain more, that would, smell is tied into the taste, right? It's showing how a smile would be likened unto a garden of roses, or being of more deliciousness than a garden of roses. That's some serious imagery there. Serious imagery. And it's interesting because it's really speaking about your senses, right? And what you're sensing about this beautiful woman that has virtue and modesty, and enlightening her charms. Ayo, bro, Islam.
Yeah, what I could take from that, man, is just, man, I'm glad I read the Quran, man, and changed my life. Because, with someone's smile being more delicious than the garden of roses, I could be enjoying that rather than saying, Caroline, right? Roses really smell like poo.
Right? Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, because it's like I said, I know a brother out there I just recently got off the phone with, man. It's like, it's that apple with that rotten core, man. For real. It's like, and it's interesting because I think it's a lot of people out there that are faithful, right? However, who they're being faithful to doesn't really appreciate them. Not really. Because they can lose their temper at any time with that being that they're with, which shows that there's some healing that needs to take place, to say in better terms. So I yield, bro. Islam.
The innocence of her eyes is like that of the turtle. Simplicity and truth dwell in her heart.
Ooh, wait. Man, this thing is really appealing to the senses, man, because it makes you immediately imagine, that kind of a woman, However, brothers, you've got to be on point. That's why if you guys go back and look at when we went over, these chapters, right? And I know we're going from 48 down to 1, but if you was to look at these chapters as how we, did them, right? Went through these degrees, how we went through them. And just look at 20, 21, and 22, and you see a combo. You actually see a theme that's happening. All right. And it will really set things right. And I know sometimes some people may try to think like, oh, well, it just seems like they're trying to control women and it seems patriarchal. But when you gotta really comprehend nature, like in my experience, sons get out of control when there's some form of disloyalty they've experienced. And usually the harshest disloyalty that sons experience first and foremost comes from their actual biological mother. And so that then shapes the way that they're going to deal with any woman from that point on. But however, there are some of us who can, just completely control ourselves, have our own mind, and just deal with, different sentient beings on a case by case basis, right? And just not draw conclusions of how one is going to treat all sentient beings, especially those that are women, and then be like, well, since this woman at this time in my past did this to me, I'm going to make sure everyone else is treated, a certain way, so that now prevents me. It's just, no, you just, on a case by case basis, you come across a shitty woman and she's just a shitty woman, no matter how much she doesn't want to get her feelings hurt or things of that nature. But I get it. Because some, mothers will be, well, there's shitty men out there. And it's like, you're probably the shitty woman that, wants to try to point out that it's an equal, like I said, usually the sons don't have a problem with being loyal because that's how sons are actually built. But as soon as you show an ounce of disloyalty, that's where you really lose a man, period. And that's what I think we need to really kind of just keep in mind. Sons, men, we deal with things based on loyalty. That's the foundation. It's loyalty, period. And I get it with the mothers. It's dealing with more of. It's funny because you would say this is the same thing. It's kind of like trust, but it's based in honesty, right? So I know they both can be actions and things that are said, but loyalty is not doing an action outside of an agreement. Whereas honesty is being consistent with what is said. And I know they seem like they kind of hold the same things. And both would like to be treated in a loving fashion. You know what I mean? However, what I've recognized as of late, within my last, since I've actually taken on nationality and birthrights, taking it seriously, I've seen that there's some really cruel brothers out there. They could be on some really stupid stuff. However, what I keep coming across the most, and maybe it's because I'm an astrologer, and more brothers than I thought, would they actually come to me and tell me different things over these years. And it's like I had no idea that it was that many abusive relationships where the man is actually being abused more than I have come across in my experience. I've come across more men being abused than women being abused in the relationship. To be completely honest with you, neither one should be getting abused, and neither situation is better than the other as far as, well, it's better when the guy's getting abused. No one deserves to be treated that way, because at the end of the day, we are still someone's child, no matter how grown we become. All right. So on a case-by-case basis, assess people's spirit, assess the spirit that they're in. The faculties of their soul, which is their thinking, their mind, which will formulate how they be, right? Spirit, soul, body, those three things can be easily assessed. And, never let yourself boil down to being something. Some women want to be abused, and they'll try to provoke a man to do certain things. And that's how that woman feels loved, because now the man has gotten angry in it. And that's one of the things I came across the most. I will say, like, that's not worth being in that relationship. You know what I mean? Because that's sadistic and masochistic, so to speak, you don't want to have to be in pain to think you're in love. That's really tough. You know what I mean? It's really, really tough. But I trust that everybody will, be on these lessons. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. The instruction says, dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones so that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order so that your little ones will learn to love instead of hate. However, I will never forget, and don't get upset with the brother, but I get why he said it. And he was saying it in terms of social engineering and the animal husbandry that most people mindsets are under. But I remember when Brother Taj was like, and I mean Brother Taj Tariq Bey, he was like, Hasan, don't start a family. And I'm like, whoa, that's what. But once I talked with him and spoke with him a few times, he was basically speaking on the fact that, in his experience, no matter what he puts out there in public, so to speak, or in front of people's eyes, we had a conversation like, oh, okay, I get it, because you're talking about the social engineering and the animal husbandry. And that's why families are broken up and relationships won't work, because the dependency of mothers on the, being a member of a federal corporation to be able to have material in life, food, clothing, shelter. The only way you can do that is if you're a state employee called a citizen or whatever, and things like that. And then you can have those things, because anything else, being Moorish American, ooh, you're a bum when you're a Moorish American, or you don't want to follow the laws, or you think you're better or higher than the laws. And it's not that. Being Moorish American is being a law enforcer, an actual, real, and only law enforcer. People that got badges and uniforms and Glock 40s on their hip, they're not law enforcement officers. They haven't been elected to office, and they're never enforcing law. They're only enforcing policy. So they're policy enforcers, period. And so when you are actually studying these things and taking nationality and birthright seriously, which leads you to seeing how you can enforce the law to help be the angel that you're supposed to be, to assist in uplifting fallen humanity, then you'll begin to speak in an intelligent tone pertaining to the law, requesting records necessary by those that think they are in position of whatever agencies, and then you have those conversations with them intelligently, and do it just like the I am identity. That those of you that don't know what the I am identity is, but you'll say Jesus, which is the same thing as the I am identity. As it says in the Helios Bibliothèque, Jesus is, he says, does it not say in your law that? And that's what we have to do. Hey, it says here within your own statutes, because you are registered with this particular state. So since you're registered with the state, that means you're under this. So are you going to be out of harmony with that? So you just, okay, I just wanted to know, can I get that in writing then? That's kind of how it is, you know what I mean? But that's why, those of us that are serious about these things, we are about the records request, and then the declaratory judgment, and then the judicial notice as three primary things to be able to set the engagement, the rules pertaining to the engagement, to activate them appropriately, so that beings that work for these agencies don't move as if they're taking advantage of some alleged ignorance. And I trust I made that clear, right? So with that being said, I yield, Brother Sean. I know I took a bit of time to pontificate about on my soapbox there. However, I yield, bro. Islam.
Okay, no, that was good. That was good.
Islam.
Let's see. The kisses of her mouth are sweeter than honey. The perfumes of Arabia breathe from her lips.
Man, see how it's appealing to the senses, right? Appealing to the senses in a way where you're not in materiality. You're not in Egypt, right? Egypt is mental bondage to sense consciousness. This is being able to use your spiritual sense, which means you're in Israel. And I don't mean some group of Albion, some Ashkenazims that want to, occupy a place where there were already people, called Palestine, right? And that's not what I mean when I say Israel. Israel is the mindset pertaining to spiritual height, spiritual enlightenment, period. That's what Israel is. Being an Israelite is one who is in spiritual consciousness, whereas an Egyptian is in material consciousness. And it's just that simple. It's not complicated. That is the metaphysics. So where people are out here arguing over, oh, religion is this, but so just be spiritual. Though that's when I know people don't have the metaphysics, nor can they really explain it with the lessons that I do. However, I and my brothers watch when people, mimic and bite the lessons that we, share the way that we do, because we're giving them perspective that they've never had. They've never had the perspective that we're sharing. I'm not being arrogant as much as I'm just being one who's telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth, period. And I think, the more we get out of wanting to control the way people speak, when the truth is only being told and it's not harmful. However, I know the truth hurts those that love living a lie. However, my intentions isn't to hurt. That's just the reaction of what happens. The truth is beautiful like a rose. However, when some touch the thorns of the stem of that rose, they get pricked. No one told you to grab a rose head on like that. In other words, no one told you to reject the truth. And that's what's happening there. All right. So we recognize that Seven Hill Star is the only beings that in this day and age, you know what I mean, you can speak about elders that spoke on certain things, but there are beings out here who are writing books and they're Moorish Americans that don't have the wisdom that we're sharing. They just don't have it because they don't consume their time, their mind. And when I say time, I mean the dimensions that they're, you know, engaging in, their spirit, their soul, their body into these things. They're not into it. Not really. Some stuff in the back pocket, maybe for a conversation, seem all wise and things. However, this is what we teach, period. This is what we share in giving information. We're not trying to put on baseball caps and be cool with the people. It's not what we're here for. Our charge is, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. So when we share what we share, how we share, is so that you can come out of that mindset that allows you to have to learn to love instead of hate, which means you're a natural born hater. The one you hate first is yourself. Just got to accept it. I yield the floor, my beloved brother, and whom I'm well pleased. Islam.
Shut not thy bosom to the tenderness of love.
Mm-hmm.
The purity of its flame shall ennoble thy heart and soften it to receive the fairest impressions.
Indeed. Look at that. Shut not your bosom to the tenderness pertaining to love, which is much different than, you know, wantonness and being allured by delusions. The purity, back to that whiteness again, of its flame shall ennoble your heart. Look at that. Right? Be on fire within. Very warming fire. One that isn't destructive. And soften it. Soften your heart to receive the fairest impressions. It sounds very just. Right? Going to the comments here, Brother Terrell says, peace and love, everyone. Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings to everyone. Brother Derek Blatchface says, peaceful greetings to everyone. And JLV says, peace be unto all brothers and sisters. Indeed, JLV. Mother Sahar says 3. Yep, she said chapter 3. That's what she was saying, chapter 3. Right? Peaceful greetings, says Mother Janelle Blash. Brother Tyro says, I reread it 10 times in a row, each time in the past weeks. Indeed. The Tyro said in these past few strongs, he's been reading it. Mother Sahar says, go get a job. Yeah, some people just think you're slumming it and bumming it because you're not slaving to make someone else have more finances for themselves and their loved ones. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, wow, deeper understanding, Brother Hasan, from Taj. Yeah, indeed. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Brother Taj knows that certain people aren't going to be able to handle that, you know, but me and Brother Taj have had plenty of conversations that when I would bring certain things to him in my thinking, and he'll be like, shit, okay, well, I guess you can handle this level of conversation. And I've never shied away of like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I never did that. So that's why he was like, Hasan, don't start a family. And he's not saying that it's truly hopeless. It's just like you probably be better off instead of, you know, playing roulette and then come across someone who's not worth it. And there's been times I've come across beings that I'm thinking they're Moorish American and they're on point, and then it's like, well played, you psycho. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? However, I've also met, a mother who is, even the elders were like, she's the one. It's like, okay, all right, cool. And that's where I am, right? So with that being said, JLB says there are no judges in their courts, all administrative, indeed, JLB. They are the Magi to bring the gifts to the divinely created man or woman, or man and woman, right? You got man/woman, not accept and usurp the gifts, keeping them as emoluments. That is correct. That is a belligerent trustee, breaching trust. JLV, you're correct. Mother Zahara says, truth be told, with an exclamation point. Brother Derek Blashface says, love, truth. We find peace to live in freedom and command justice one step at a time. Indeed. And Consuelo says, peace and love. Beloved, indeed, indeed. If you missed this because you're just coming in, it's all good. We want you all to going back, look at what we went over. All righty. I guarantee you guys will enjoy it. And this is one of this is one of my favorite. I mean, I enjoy sharing my thoughts based on my studies as much as I can, because I know I'm enforcing my charge. In order to change the people, you must change their literature. And I know that 7 heel star is rare, especially in a world where everybody's talking about processes, secure party creditor, go and get your trust. You need a DBA. And a lot of these people have L or Bay as their title, and they're not concerned at all with the Quran, with the 101, with Veritas, with the Celestial Atlas, with the Tablet of Memory. They don't care about the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, the Encyclopedia of Astrology, Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology. They don't care. Why? Because they're too busy trying to have material. They're in Egypt. Period. They're in Egypt. They are Egyptians. We are Israelites. And again, an Egyptian is one who is in mental bondage to sense consciousness. They're only worried about material. Their only concern is material consciousness. They are in material consciousness. Israelite, right, is one who is in spiritual consciousness. Period. That's what it is. Don't believe anything I say. Study. All right? I get it. Well, you had all this time, Hasan. We all ain't had that time. Some of us had to work. We ain't got it like that. See, if we had... You have your purpose in life. I have mine. I guarantee you, though, if those out there like, well, if I had it like this, you couldn't last one day in my shoes. Because it's a certain kind of discipline that you have to actually have and express at will at any given time when anything occurs. And most people are like, well, if I had time to do it like you, they would be the first ones that they would be Moses after giving him the tablets the first time. They would be so angry, they would just drop the tablets. Fuck these 10 commandments. The fuck? And you got to pick up your cracked tablets and take them back to Apple and get them fixed. Get your screens fixed. My man broke 2 tablets off the break. He wasn't playing. Came back and saw them people worshiping the golden calf from all their jewelry that they had smelted. so that they can have something to worship. And that's those people that are your secured party creditors. They worship that golden calf, right? Which is the Federal Reserve note or debits and credits and all these other things. Baseball caps, gold chains, aviators. But I'm an L or I'm a Bay. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, Hasan, sometimes people just need to be able to relate to people like that. They're not going to be able to relate to a brother in a purple robe and a scarf and a fez with badges on. They're going to be intimidated by that. Maybe they're the ones that's supposed to not make it. Maybe they're the ones that's their purpose is to stay a slave because their karma is to stay a slave. My ego's not in the way. I don't deal with beliefs. I'm not a fool, nor am I a baby. I deal with the zodiac. That's all I concern myself with. Zodiac, numbers 0 through 9, geometry, period. And I'm able to see and measure appropriately. Period. That's what it is. I'm setting an example. I am my brothers. Right? Mother Sahara says, indeed, and she's laughing, right? Yeah, man, that's most people would break those tablets, Mother Sahara. One day in my shoes, their impatience will manifest immediately. It'll spring up faster than a tree growing through concrete. I know, but that takes long. Because what will happen is their impatience will be unlikened to a redwood, and it is 12 layers of concrete, each layer 1 foot each, so that's 12 feet of concrete. And I'm telling you, it's gonna bust right through it like Kool-Aid through the drywall of someone's home. Seriously. Talking about, all right, what? You just lost your temper. But you're holy. Okay. Okay. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions going once? I'm so looking forward to this next Sunday.
Man.
Log for chapters 2 through 19. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
hand rub.
I know,
epilogues for chapters 2 through 19, hand rub.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to go in on the metaphysics of Jesus in the beginning and Mary. That's why I have Yahshua ibn Maryam, which is the son. And we're going to go over John and Elizabeth also, which is why I have Hananiah ibn Elizabeth for the moon. And that's just according to my studies. That's how I see it, right? Again, you don't have to accept anything I say. You don't have to believe anything. Please don't. Don't believe anything I say. I don't even deal with beliefs. So you're not a fool or a baby. That's why I speak to people like the intelligent beings that they are. I don't care to speak to you like, oh, I'm speaking over their head. Like, you want me to treat you like an idiot? Is that what you're asking? You're asking me to treat you like, I told you, I don't do abusive relationships. You want me to abuse you. It's a little sadistic. And that's why I think people don't really get that. They don't really get that. No, man, you got to meet people where they at. Meeting you where you're at doesn't mean let me really just already assume that you're a dumbass. No, meeting you where you're at is, I know you'll get these concepts, but if you're a basketball player, let me put the concepts in a parable of basketball. Like when Jesus was talking to the people in chapter 12. The parable of the sower type of energy. but it was dealing with the rocky soil where there were gems below. Gold and gems is not the kind of land or type of soil you use to grow food. That's not what that is. They won't root appropriately. So I don't have to talk to you like you don't know. I speak to you like you do know. And if I actually sat and spoke with you and got to know who ye are, then I can turn any of these concepts into something you can comprehend. Period. That's what Jesus does. Oh, did Brother Hasan just call himself Jesus? Again, metaphysics. Jesus is the I am identity. Who isn't Jesus? Just because I recognize it in myself doesn't make me someone who needs to be crucified.
What's good, Jesus, man? What's happening, Jesus, man?
What's good, Jesus? You doing good, Jesus?
You know what I'm saying? Just being the I am, just showing the way for those that need to see, you feel me?
Indeed. Sounds like a mutual showing that's happening there, man. And I get it. There's gonna be some people that will still lose their shit. But it's okay. You'll find yourself immediately once you realize the pain that comes with rejecting the truth. I'm a thorn.
What is that? Aneurysms when they jump up like
Yeah, I know, right? Straight up. All right, guys. We appreciate y'all, Brother Sean. Questions, comments, and no suggestions going Twist Ice.
Let's see. My brother Corey voice. And another one.
Indeed, man. Tell the people real quick about something. Let me step out for a quick second, man. Tell them about what they missed Saturday, man. How they can come and check us out the next Saturday.
Oh, that was, man, fire. Because once again, one of the good brother just asked a simple question, and we just went in because we do what we do. I'm trying to think, who was it that we go in on? We looked at I know we looked at Jada. Oh, okay, yeah, because we looked at Richard Moe and we looked at Jada Pinkett Smith, and just everything was telling based on the things that we were looking at. And yeah, guys, y'all should definitely join us Saturday, to really get the astrology. And like I said, if y'all have any questions, just ask. And if it's something about a technique or just really about anything, because there's no wrong questions, there's no really wrong questions to ask, and to bring some clarity, because you might already have it. We might just have to say it or show it in a way that will click within you. It's like, oh, I already knew it. I just wasn't quite sure, but now I get it. When it comes to astrology, like any techniques or, really any of that, just come and ask, and we'll go over it and, in thorough detail to really show, how really easy it is once you just understand where you're coming from, what to look for and how you can apply that and, really move forward. Like Saturday, another good one. I think the last Saturday, I think we end up looking at Dave Chappelle, and then, a couple discussions ago, probably about 3 or 4 Saturdays ago, some things that we said came to manifest about someone that we went over. So y'all be in there. So y'all be like, hey, yo, besides the weather report and Intuition Monday, like, these Saturdays, these things that we're going over, things are really showing themselves. And then y'all can apply it to your lives, and to improve yourself and your loved ones and your babies and your friends or colleagues, that might not be looking at it or get it. Like, hey, man, I came back Saturday, man. Like that question you was asking, couldn't figure it out. Well, I asked them and they showed me. So let me show you. And that's kind of just like each one teach one, like, so we can all keep, first and foremost, improving ourselves. And then we can take that to our loved ones, our, local community, non-statutory, and really just, globally and internationally. And like the more we better ourselves, the more we better and help others. So yeah, like one of the things that I always, keep in mind when Prophet Noble Drelly is like, I gave you everything that takes nation, go and save yourselves. And that's where that astrology and that law really comes in, because it's like once you really do it for you, then you can help anyone, so it's always about being there for yourself first and foremost, but knowing that what I'm doing is not just for me, it's for the higher good, but I have to first do it for myself. It's like I can't, be a hooper, you know what I'm saying? I can't never play basketball. I'm trying to go out and tell folks how to cross over, and step back and shoot, and I ain't never done it. They could be like, boy, you don't go on somewhere with that, boy, you know what I'm saying? Type energy. So, it's yeah, these Saturdays are great. Like, it's short and quick, about 2 hours. Sometimes it might go a little over because y'all know how when we start going in, like the time really just, what we call time doesn't really matter. Like I think I just said that the brother that's like, yeah, we had like a 5.5 hours, so we must have been going in on that joint. But yeah, that's what we do for Saturdays. Just ask your questions, like whatever it is, just ask it. Just like how everyone does on Newbie Tuesdays. They got their questions and no wrong questions, and there's no bad questions. And, we're able to give you that to improve your concepts. And I yield, bro.
Indeed. I mean, I will say this as something that came from out of Saturday's class. Now, you guys already know you want to be a part of TUPAC for a lifetime. It's 250 units via CashApp. Don't be scared. It's worth it. However, if you can only make it on by Saturday cases, and you're not a member and you don't have a student card, it's 30 units to participate. If you want the video recording, then it is at least a 10 unit donation. So it's potentially 40 for you unless you want to give more. If you have a student card, it's 15 to participate and still at least a 10 unit donation for the video, since you're still not a member, but you have a student card from whatever institution your student card is from. All right. However, you already know if you're a TUPAC member, all you guys are giving is at least a 5 unit donation to just maintain what it is. And I know after this, I'm actually go and download the video from Saturday. But from Saturday, since we went over Richard Mall, which is Bull from Night Court. For those of you that know, there's some of you that are here. You guys remember Night Court. You remember Bull from Night Court. He recently transitioned. I think it was Friday night. And we kind of went in on that to the point where I gave my outlook on what I think it was. And however, but we was going in because shout out to John Alexander Dix Bay, right? He was asking about looking at a certain chart, certain way for a certain outcome. And we utilized Jada Pinkett Smith as an example and really went in. So this is what I'll say as a prediction. Between now and maybe September 18th of 2024, right? Between now and the 18th September 2024, I would look for Jada Pinkett to either release some type of tell-all book or be in touring as an actress in a play, or there's going to be some made for a streaming, app type of presentation that's going to come out to continue to ride the wave of all of this publicity pertaining to our relationships that's happening. We went in, as we always do. Or this Saturday, we went in this past Saturday. And if you guys want to be a part of that, you're like, man, hold on, I know I missed it, but how could I get the video, right? Well, again, it's still the same thing. You see what I'm saying? And just because we guys got to respect our time and energy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I get it. It's just the means of respecting our energy. It's not like, oh, well, they just want to get Cash Apps. They just look, Cash App, Zelle, Google Pay, whatever. At the end of the day, it is respecting the time. We really studied this, and we do continue to study this. We do not play around at all. This is very serious. It's how we'll be able to really fix our communities, really comprehend this. It's just we have to keep doing certain presentations to further interest more and more beings, get you interested in what's already your ancient foremothers and forefathers mindset. However, we're not going to starve, continue to keep providing things. We're not going to, we can't keep this up, you know what I'm saying, for right now until we sit down with these people or write these people what we know we're going to have to write. I'm telling you, with what I do in a day, like when I get off of this, I have to download a video while still editing a video. I still got 5 hours and 13 minutes of video that I need to continue to edit. 5 hours and 13 minutes. All right.
Add on, bro. Like what we do is no different from, anybody purchasing a ticket to go to their favorite concert. You know what I'm saying? Or going to watch someone speak, or you know what I'm saying, any of these other type things that we exchange energies for. Is respecting energy. Like you wouldn't want to go to a Lil Baby or a Drake concert, like, because you're going, you paying whatever to respect their energy. Like that's really what it is when you transact for a book. You're transacting for the energy that was time to put that together. You know what I'm saying? There's really no difference. And if we ain't going in, we going all the way in. Period. But I yield, bro.
Yeah, how would you like to, if there was a dinner that we that Seven Hill Star was going to be at, would you transact 119 notes for your seat at a table at a dinner that we're going to be at? That's what's happening out here.
Or if we threw a Astro get together, would you pay that $1,000, those 1,000 notes for that booth? You know what I'm saying? And maybe some of our finest water or drink, something we would come up with, would you pay 300 unit notes for that bottle service, like
yeah. These are realistic questions for real, because I think what needs to be focused on is what we're talking about and what we do. Look, I gave you guys my predictions on Jada Pinkett. You want to see what else we've been doing in TUPAC? Like I said, so far, I think this might be video 6 or 7 or whatever. It's still at least 40. If you missed it, it's going to be 40 at least, because you got to get the video. So that's that 30 plus 10. So if you missed it, it's 40. If you have a student card, it's going to be 25. You want to become a member, it's $250, and we'll give you immediate access to it. However, you must always consider that in having access to the video, we still want for you guys to donate, because we're still basically using that energy to be able to take care of the drives that they're in, right? So it's not even like we're getting to really thrive and live, right? Like we're not getting fresh clothes. We're just getting detergent to clean them. All right. So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, they got this new whip. No. Even though we're actually worth that. Seven Hill Star should have a jet. You know what I mean? And we should be talking different places, and have a basketball arena to talk to people about astrology. And like, man, it's 80,000 people in here for this conference. Yeah,
we should be sold out at Madison Square Garden, and whatever other arenas they got.
80,000 people at $1,000 a ticket. Jesus Christ!
Hey, what they say in that one? What they say in that one TV show? What they said? Money been made around here. Money been made around here. Rainbow, diamonds. But yeah, and even if we did do that, it would go back to the people, because that's what we're about. Is so that the energy that we receive, we're giving back, so that everyone can be good. Like it's not even like, oh, they just did this, and no, we're not selfish, because we just know what it is, and yeah, we just want to get back to the people, so to make sure that everybody can be good. You know what I mean?
You'll start seeing Moorish community centers pop up near every so-called major city, facilitating the things that's necessary, because we will definitely make law and enforce law. Period. You know what I'm saying? Just look at what we have done freely on social media. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Look what we're doing freely. What? Man, please. So with that being said, Brother Derek says, laughing out loud, keep it real, Brother Sean. That was probably when I stepped out, right? He says love, respect, and gratitude. No more questions, comments, and or suggestions going. This is where we're going to do our invocation now. We want to see you guys next day, which is Monday. For Intuition Monday, we going in on Tracy Ellis Ross's natal chart. I don't think you guys want to miss that. You're almost kind of getting a sneak peek, sort of kind of what we do on Saturday. But on Saturdays, we go in. You want to talk about astrology concept correction. Hey, yo, I don't think we're going to do too much concept correction tomorrow. What we're going to do, though, is analyze the chart that we have for Tracy Ellis Ross and look at some things. And 9 times out of 10, there's going to be some predictions made, too, for things to come. But you definitely want to join us next day for Intuition Monday. All righty. For Tracy Ellis Ross's natal chart analysis. All right. So indeed, JLB, ye are welcome. All right. She says, thank you always. Indeed. Please, so this is where I suggest we extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. I'm going to face directional east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in the hearts.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. It was Holy Prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Indeed, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. Mother Sahar says sincere gratitude. Guys, if you're just coming in and you missed it, go back and check the replay. You won't be disappointed, all right? And come and see us. We already know. Next day, right? Monday, Tracy Ellis Ross. Tuesday, Newbie Tuesday at Lawful Living, right? Shout out to Malika and Sunny and all of our Lawful Living loved ones, right? Big things are cooking. I will have an affiliate link very soon for Freedom from Government. So look for that, guys, right? That'll be another way of helping us out here. Wednesday will be our 7-day Tropical Medical Astro Weather Report. Thursday, right, we're going to go in on a bit of kind of some advanced concept correction on Thursdays with Lawful Living. Friday is impromptu improv with 7 Hill Star, and then court strategy with Lawful Living on Friday. It's funny. It's like Sunday, Monday, us. Tuesday, Lawful Living. Wednesday, us. Thursday, Lawful Living. Friday, us and Lawful Living. It's like, can't beat that. And then Saturday, us again. Like, sheesh. I'm really considering, like, 7 Hill Star might have to take like a moon cycle off. I'm just thinking of when to do it. I'm really plotting and planning when to take that moon cycle off, or we just allow different activities to happen. Different brothers will present at different times, different things for different days or something. I'll think of it. We'll think of something. Pre-record and let some things go down. Yeah, that kind of works too. Maybe do some pre-records. Maybe we'll see. You know what I mean? And go in on some quick reports. Yeah, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of things that's a brewing. And like right now, I'm about to yield the floor in this, download the video while I'm editing a video. All righty. So with that, guys, love you all. Consuelo says peace and love, Moors. Right. Indeed. So this is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.